Welcome back to another installment, another episode of the Benchmark Podcast, your podcast where you get sports and pop culture talk from your everyday regular people that you can relate to. You feel me? Me and Miles, I'm your host, Antonio, Mr. Still Not Worried. I got my handed smooth operator Davenport here with me. And we have today with us a very special guest. We thank you for taking time out your day. We got
Yes,
Mik'Quan
sir.
Deane.
Yes,
Mike,
sir. Yes, sir.
us. How you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored, man. I'm blessed and highly favored. I can't say too much, but that's it. It ain't. It's plain and simple, just like that. Blessed.
That's good to hear. How's life been for you and like with COVID and your family?
hmm Well, I feel like when I stopped, doing football, like I think that's kind of when it happened. So like, I think actually like 2 weeks before COVID like really shut down. What I mean, with the quarantine and everything, I was actually playing XFL. And I was thinking, I was like, man, what I mean? XFL, it was a good little, I had fun doing it. And I was like, dang, I feel like something telling me that I need to stop it and like actually go look for something else. You feel me? So I feel like God, my intuition was telling me like, yeah, bro, that's all this is about to shut down. Like 2 weeks prior before all that shut down, I was like, yeah, I ended up quitting. And then I came back here looking for a job. And then as soon as I knew it, COVID happened and everything completely shut down. So, man, it was definitely, of course it was tough for everybody. Um, but for the most part though, I feel like I was mentally aware of everything that was going on. For real.
Hey, that's a good thing to be able to have that intuition, God letting you know in advance to get you.
hmm Come
A
on,
lot of
man.
a lot of people got hit side
Yeah.
with COVID and
hmm
just in general. Like
Right.
a lot of people could say this has been a crazy year.
For sure.
Before we even get into the on the field things and
hmm
like talk about a little bit. Tell me about your business, the Garden of Eden.
hmm Yeah. So actually, during this quarantine process, because like we were just saying, like I feel like everybody was hit, in different ways, but I feel like this is something that needed to happen. You feel me? Because I feel like this stuff made everybody realize, like, damn, I really need to invest in myself, or like if there's something that I need to be doing, like for like my purpose, I need to go ahead and what I mean, go ahead and fulfill that because I've always been like artistic, always like clothes and designing and stuff like that. But it was like as a playing sports, I feel like I can showcase that. Like I feel like everybody wouldn't think that this dude that play football, what I mean? He's not like that. So I feel like now that I'm doing my own thing and being my own person, I feel like I'm able to, branch out. So the Garden of Eden was just something that, you know, I felt like was, very, deep down for me because growing in poverty situations, you start to grow as a person. Once you grow, and people pour water into you, you grow, you feel me? And even spiritually, like even talk about the Garden of Eden, what I mean, in the Bible, how everything was very pure and good intentions. So, I mean, that's all. That's my basis, bro. I'm just always good, always good intentions, always pure and always looking to help out others, bro. So that's kind of where that came from, and it's really more like minimalist. Very the shirt would be the style I'm kind of going for is like very words of positive words of affirmation. Some type of quote on the shirt, and I got a dove to represent peace, love and all that. But man, I'm just having fun with it, bro. Just taking one day at a time, bro. So I'm really excited, for this new journey.
That's great because with everything going on, like you mentioned in 2020, I
hmm
think you talk about the election, you talk about all the race
hmm
relations. Um, Love is more of what we need now.
hmm
Love rules all. Love always wins. So to get
Exactly.
message is great. Also get out of the box of I'm just an athlete. I run routes.
Exactly.
No, it's
Exactly.
more to that because like athlete is kind of what you do. It's not who you are.
hmm
So I think it's good you got a concept on that. Not
Exactly.
yeah.
Got to. Got to.
Um, Branching off on that, like what's your thoughts on the current climate that's going on in America and
hmm
the police injustices and
Right.
just towards people of color. What's your thoughts on how America is right now?
Well, for me personally, like like I feel like at a young age, I just kind of always perceive life in a different way than other people. So like when stuff like this happens, with the cops and stuff, like I don't like it, but at the same time, I've always been aware that like it's always been going on. It's just that now all the stuff that's going on is, when we got social media, they really brought social media to really mess us up in our conscious and in our mind. But a lot of people using it for good. You feel me? So like a lot of people is being exposed. You feel me? And I feel like a lot of shit is happening right now. I feel like yeah, a lot of shit's happening right now because it's like we're more exposed to it. We can see a lot of different things stuff that's been going on. But I mean, yeah, bro, I hate to see it, all this stuff happen. I hate to see people, go out like that. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's a part of the plan, and it's no really we can say, or there's no really like nothing really we really can say to really help that situation. It's more about loving each other, bro. Like I feel like as a black man, I feel like we need to be, you feel me, like checking up on each other and like really trying to dive deep into that, bro, because I feel like it's a lot of you know traumas, and it's like a lot of people that's just trying to stay back and act cool, but it's not like that shit ain't cool no more. You feel me? Trying to act like, oh yeah, like people that's gang, feel like that shit's weak. Like you need to get on a new way, get your own money. You feel me? Take care of your family. And I mean, like I was saying before, bro, yeah, it's tragic that this stuff is still happening. You feel me? But that's just how this world is.
And somebody that works with kids, what do you tell young kids that might be confused or might want to know like why things
Hmm.
what's going on?
Yeah. So I mean, it's really tough for me for the most part, especially when you talk to black kids, because it's like there's no accurate way to explain why people get shot for no reason. You feel me? So it's like, as with me working with, because I work at a boys' home, so between the ages of 11 and 17, so there's a lot of kids in there that don't really care, of course, because I mean, I grew up, in foster care before, so like I've already experienced, kind of something similar to what those kids go through. But it's like some of the kids will ask questions, and I'm straight up honest with them, especially if they black. It's just like I won't sugarcoat nothing for you. Like there's no room for me to sugarcoat anything for them. Like for the white kid, like you feel me? Like anybody else, like okay, like I can give you like a little explanation, but straight black kid, it's just straight like raw information. I'm like, hey man, don't you feel me? Don't be hanging around the wrong people. Don't be doing something you shouldn't be doing. Like that's how it is.
That's that's key. Like you said, it's kind of tough.
Hmm.
You can't other races you could kind of beat around the bush, even though at some point we have to let them know what's going
Hmm.
on.
Exactly.
But for one of my things, I know you're a new father. Congratulations, by the way.
Mhm. Thank you, sir.
I know for me and my wife, like when we talk about having kids, like that's one of the biggest things that we discuss is like, what do you tell your kids? Like
Hmm.
different raising black kids, and Miles could attest to it, a father also. It's different,
Hmm.
especially in this climate. It's like, what do you say? And it's hard when even when you do everything right, you can still end up on the wrong side
Hmm.
of history, basically.
Yeah.
You mentioned, you went through foster care and
Hmm.
what I'm pretty sure you've talked about it in
Hmm.
length, but just for our followers, just so
Right.
people,
Yeah.
uh, I know your parents at a younger age
Hmm.
had to do some time. How did
Yep.
that affect you growing up as an athlete and
Hmm.
as a man, as an individual?
Hmm. So going through foster care, and before even going through foster care, my grandma ended up, took me and my two older brothers in. We were staying here with her, and then she ended up passing away because she got into a bad car accident on a bridge. So after we left her place, we went back to foster care, and then that's when my uncle, my mom's brother, he ended up taking us in. And he was just kind of at the time, he's gang affiliated, you know what I mean? And he's got like he really made me stronger mentally because he always did shit that like aggravated us. You feel me? Like, like it was just he had different punishment. Like he wasn't gonna give us no elsewhere. He was gonna make us sit, like stand in the corner and look at the corner for like, 20 minutes. Or we gotta, you feel me, stand on one leg and hold two books. And like it just like, where do you get these? You feel me? But it was like football wise, when I started, you feel me, when I started playing football, I was doing my training and stuff. And then like I locked into like that mental part when I was younger, having to do that stuff and having to go through that stuff, it made everything way easier. And even with me going the JUCO route, it made me like mentally like in a different level than a lot of people. So it's like, I mean, going through foster care and doing all that stuff, and then my mom working her tail off to get us back to where we need to be. It just like it showed me a lot of different things. I was growing at a young age, just learning a lot of different stuff. So I mean, it was football has definitely been a thing for me to mentally see where I was at. You feel me? Because it's like a lot of football, a lot of shit happened in football that like low key happened in life. Like I was that's why I was really mentally built for the NFL because it was like anything that happened, I was like, are we up by 20? Oh yeah, keep going. Oh, we down by 20. Let's get it. Like that's just how I'm built. You feel me? So I mean, yeah, bro.
I definitely want to kind of piggyback further on that because you mentioned mental toughness, which I think is kind of one of those intangibles that's not always factored in
Right.
value. Like, of course, you want to look at talent, you want to look at the person running the
Hmm.
40, you want to see
Yep.
who can run the routes and things of
Hmm.
that. How much do you think mental toughness plays in the factor of your success on the field?
Mm. Man, so like even with me going the JUCO route and then having 2 years at a D1 and then going to NFL, I think mental toughness, like as I was in JUCO, as I was learning that, I feel like it made me way different from a lot of people. Like athletic wise, yes, I'm very athletic. Yeah, like I ran a 4.48 40, all that stuff. And but I think like mentally like that, um, I told people that football is 90% mental and 10% physical. Like, of course, you gotta be, carry your own weight, and you gotta be somewhat at least, trying to get big. But at the same time, it was all mental. That just like with defensive players when they talking all that, they trying to get into your head. Oh yeah, you drop one. Oh yeah, he about to be dropping all night. He's garbage. You feel me? Yeah, all right. I'm gonna show you. All right. You feel me? And that's just how that mentality is. But it's like a lot of people like you start talking and they start getting their feelings, and then you got them. They ain't catching nothing the whole game. It's all mental, and that just kind of how I perceived the game. That's how I looked at it. I think that's why I had the chances and I was able, and blessed to play in the NFL was because of my mentality and how I went out there. Ray Lewis, all them dudes, like man, them dudes is crazy. Like, bro, like I was on a team with Odell, bro, and like I'm just the most genuine person I've ever met, bro. Like he showed love to everybody. You feel me? And mentally, he was just having fun with the game. Like that's what it was. And the reason why last year, the reason why really shit really didn't go really good was because Baker, like he was just, on his doing his own thing. But yeah, bro, it's really I think it's football is 90% mental for me.
I think I could attest to that on like just life in general. Because
Hmm.
life, what do you want to do in a response? Like that famous quote that everybody says with Rocky, like life's going to hit you, it's going to knock you down. Like, what do you do? Like, are you going to stay knocked down or are you going to actually
Hmm.
get back up? Um,
Exactly.
you mentioned, you ran in your 40. So did you
Hmm.
do one or did you have one of those like pro days?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had a pro day. Yeah, I was training in Nashville because I went to Western Kentucky, which is like an hour away from Nashville. Went there and played there, and then right after the season, started training. and I was training at this place in Nashville called like Boost Performance. Shout out to them. Boost Performance. And man, yeah, bro, I was just having fun with it, just out because man, I've always liked running. Like my mom ran track in high school and stuff, so my dad was just athletic, so it's like I enjoyed learning stuff like that. It was kind of weird to me. I was like, damn, if I take this step, if I take a small step before, like I'm faster. So it's like learning as I go, and then I was like, wow, I could be low key good. So it's like
So I know I did some research and whatnot. You played basketball growing up,
hmm
football. Do you
hmm
feel basketball helps you in football or like in
hmm
life?
Yeah, so I feel like basketball helped me just because I feel like being in small, especially I'm 6'4", so just like even growing up and being, not really I guess I was kind of goofy, I was just kind of like in small areas, like it would be a lot for me. So growing up and being okay being in small areas and doing stuff in small areas, it made everything easier for me, and I'm in football and I'm running around and I got a linebacker on the inside and outside linebacker on the outside, but I'm sitting in between. It's just stuff like that. So even with footwork wise, of course, footwork and even with hand-eye coordination, doing stuff, dribbling the ball and doing all this other stuff. So it definitely helped in football. I feel like football, like even with me playing, tight end or receiver, it helped me in basketball too. It just, going up and get rebounds, knowing the time your jumps and stuff like that, for sure.
So I definitely want to go back and touch on the college route. You mentioned, you went to
hmm
you ended
hmm
up Western Kentucky. Um, how was that route? How did you stay motivated during that?
hmm hmm
And could it have been any other school than Western Kentucky? What made you choose Kentucky?
Good question. So JUCO route it was definitely hard. It was probably one of the hardest moments, low key, in my life, because I feel like I was going through so much. You feel me? Like, and I think any person that low key played, junior college football can attest to this. It was just I was in a small town. You got McDonald's and you got Sonic, and then you got all the local places, you feel me? Which are, sometimes white owned, not that it's a problem, but it's just there's no really big, restaurant places there. And man, academically, you know, everybody was trying to get to it, everybody was helping everybody. So it was just like it was a lot of different aspects of life that was hitting you all at the same time. You don't got no money.
Mm.
Stuff with family, it was always, stuff with family always gonna happen, and it was happening then. Stuff with, significant other, girls and stuff like that. So it was just you got academia, you got, you got to wake up for workouts and stuff. So it was just, yeah, a lot of stuff was happening, life was happening. But I would just mentally, trying to stay in the word, and just keep reading. Or if I wasn't in the word, I was trying to, build knowledge. So um definitely JUCO was definitely hard, but it's always the struggles that, like, I feel like we're not really thankful of the struggles until the struggles actually, like, until it's past. You feel me? Like when I'm look back at it, I'm like, damn, like I get why I had to, go through
Uh,
that, so that you realize, like, and that's how life is. Like, even when everybody's struggling right now, that's the crazy thing is everybody's about to go up from here. Ain't nobody, everybody really should be flourishing like in the next couple years. This is good. This is supposed to be setting a tone, bro. Like for everything that you want, everything that you want to manifest. Because everybody is going through similar struggles. You feel me? And the creator, you feel me, is going to bless you. So that's why I think through that time, I was playing junior college football, I was just always, but I've always been positive, even when I was in foster care, even when we got adopted and we was in, the north side of Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is like the worst part of town. Joshua Jacobs, that's where he's from. You feel me? So it was that type of, Joshua Jacobs that played for the Raiders, it was that type of, poverty strict situation that kind of I was just always positive. I was like, I'm sitting in the house with 12 people, but like you feel me? I'm waking up, the sun's out, you feel me? I'm blessed, you feel me? And it's just That's just how I always picture life, bro. And that's all. I mean, that's all I always continue to do for real.
That's a interesting perspective that a lot of people don't have. Some people view glass half full, glass half empty. That's always how you perceive and view the situation.
Right.
Determines how you're going to come out of it, and it's harder. It's easier said than done to be in the
Oh
situation,
yeah.
in that storm, and not be thinking like, "Yo, it's actually sun behind this." Like behind these clouds. I listen to Andy Mineo a lot, and he says like, "Yo," in one of his songs, "I got above the clouds," and it was like, "Oh shoot, there was even sun." Like, but
Right. Exactly.
you don't think that way. But could it have been any other school besides Western?
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah, bro. Listen, I had 16 offers, so I was like I was saying, I was doing my, I was out there working. You feel me? So I had 16 offers. I think my top offers was Oregon, Nebraska, Central Florida, Arizona State, right? So now, mind you, let's think about this. Let's think about this real quick. Miles, you still there? I can't. Miles ain't saying nothing. I'm at the. Okay. Hey, so listen though. So during this time, bro, I'm like, I'm taking my visits. You feel me? I'm going to visit other schools. I'm doing this, and I go to Arizona State. Arizona State has like I think 64,000 people on campus. Junior college only got like maybe 200 people on campus, maybe a little bit more. So I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, like I can't be here, bro. There's no way I can. And I really said that for Arizona State and Central Florida because Central Florida has 72,000. So I wasn't mentally like sexually like at an area where I can just not wild out. Like I was just at that time. I ain't, it wasn't. I seen a couple girls, you feel me, but on campus, but junior college girls wasn't really nothing to brag about for really too much. So I was just kind of like, so yeah, this is all right. And then when I start taking them visits, it's like, yeah, bro, you know. And then when I end up going to Western Kentucky, I say, all right, it's good size, not too many people. And, I like the coaching staff and everybody there. And I'll tell you the story. When I was on my plane ride back to Oklahoma when I left Western Kentucky, I was in Nashville by the end of my plane. As for me, like I'm afraid of heights. I don't like, being up in the air, being awake and reading and doing all that other stuff. I'm really trying to sleep because I don't like planes. I don't like heights. So any other time, I got on a plane like eight times before that, and I go to sleep every time, like real fast. So when that end up happening, I get in the I'm on there sleep by the time I sleep good, and I'm like I can't sleep. Like 30 minutes into the flight, I started writing down my thoughts, what I was thinking, and I feel like the creator was telling me that that's where I'm needed. So go where you need it, and I end up as soon as I got off the plane, I hit up the coach like, hey coach, I'm going ahead and commit right now. Bam. Now when I see why he said that though, because it's like when I went up there, I got into the community. You feel me? I was mentoring kids at a local elementary, and he's balling right now. One of the kids I mentor, he's balling right now. Like I think he's probably in ninth grade, eighth and ninth grade. He's balling, and I'm just I'm happy that I had the chance to talk to him and love on him and show him that love. Uh, and I was in fellow Christian athletes FCA and all that stuff. So I feel like I did a lot of good there, and I feel like I accomplished what I needed. So that's the reason why I went to Western Kentucky.
Hey, real quick, that's still a maturity level to be like, hey, I know me, I can't be on this. I campus. It's not going to turn out well for me. I transferred to William Patterson from NJCU. Two totally different. NJCU was kind of like a mini high school.
Yeah.
It was more like a college. I was like, yo, you want to stay on campus? I was like, nah. I stay on campus, it's curtains. It's not going
to it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. I would have been had a kid. And my son 2 months. Come on, bro. Like, I'm glad I made it to this point. But everybody was like, I had people, when I got that Oregon offer, niggas that, people started like, oh, what? You ain't going to Oregon? You feel me? And that was tough, bro, because you just got people in your ear. You feel me? Everybody excited and everybody, everybody lit. So it was just like, man, I was like, man, you should go Oregon, man. Them jerseys clean, bro. That hell was clean. I'm like, but it's not about that though. I had to really dive deep and say, bro, it's not about the jerseys and it's not about all that stuff. I think I would have been you feel me, a higher pick. I think I would have been picked in the draft if I probably would have went to Oregon. But, I feel like that wasn't me. So
That was the plan.
exactly.
All right, so I mean, touching back on the mentality, I know some people have the mentality like there's no backup plan, like they're going full on with sports, whether basketball, football. I'm just wondering, like, what was your mentality, and like, what was your backup plan in a sense?
Right. So really, like, let me think about this. Yeah, so I always knew I was capable of more, but I've never got to that point. You feel me? Like I never, because of course, sports was the outlet, for me, just like anybody else. So I had, so hmm, I guess just for the most part, man, I was just kind of, going with the flow in life. Like I knew, out of high school, I was like, I think, I'll do football just because I feel like I have a higher ceiling. You know what I mean? 6'3". I was playing power forward. I was like, but I'm like 6'3". I'm 215. 205. You could do something with that in football. So it's like, let me just try out football, and then I went. And I was just like, man, if I stay positive and I just keep working hard, you feel me? Yeah, everything, everything will be everything. Like what's meant for you won't miss you. You feel me? So it's like when I start, man, I don't even know how I got that mentality. Honestly, it's been a blessing to have this type of mentality because I feel like, somebody else that was in this situation probably would have made different choices. But I mean, I just really just always been positive and I always let like, God made the decision. You feel me? Like I always just leave it up to him. And I can literally like if a situation going on, I'll literally pray about it and just I don't know how. I like just block it off and then like let it go and then it end up, being something beautiful for real.
That's a great mindset to have. That's something that I know I try to actually live
Hmm.
by where I come from, like with my IG name and the creation of
Right.
my called Still Not Worried Studios, like talking
Hmm.
about in Matthew where God tells you, like, yo, if I feed the birds, like, how do you not think I'm gonna take care of you? Like the birds,
Exactly.
they
Exactly,
think
bro.
they don't think where
Hmm.
it's gonna come from. They just know, I'm gonna get a worm day at some point. We gonna eat
Yeah, at
good.
some point.
And
Maybe it's just tonight, it don't matter.
um, are you still currently like training to get back opportunity?
Nah,
Whether no,
nah, bro. So going through this process, it made me realize, of course it's a business and all that, but I didn't really like how fake, the owner, not even the owners, 'cause I really didn't even really talk to the owners like that, but it's the coaches and the NFL as a corporation. I didn't, me personally, like, well, for somebody different, it could be they might like it, but for me personally, I knew deep down what I was, I know what I got. I know what I got to offer. And I feel like a lot of people do sports because they don't really spiritually, they're not spiritually aware of what other talents they really have. Because I mean, yeah, like you athletic and stuff, but what is your purpose though? And when I was in the league, I was like, damn, like, I'm every now and again, I'm over here helping out, my homeboy, in the league that he had his foundation and, I'm doing some volunteer stuff, but I'm not really doing nothing. And that shit was like, it was aching inside of me. It was like something that was riding that was just kind of, throughout my whole body. I was, going to clubs and stuff and getting everything for free. Like I didn't have to pay for anything. So it just kind of like, I was like, yeah, it's a fun lifestyle. And I could see how a person could want to stay in that. But it's like the longer I stayed in it, like it's almost like it brainwash you of all the other stuff that you're good at. Like it could be some people that you know, like it could be a lot of other people that are still doing the stuff they like to do on the side and still doing football. But for me personally, it was blocking my vision. It was like when ended up quitting the XFL and just stopped when I just, made the decision to stop doing football. Man, I was going through some dark times, you feel me? And I had to reprogram my mind and remember, why I got into that in the first place. And I really just I wanted someone to be like me when I was younger. You feel me? I wanted somebody to, even though, I grew up in a workplace, I still wanted people to come check on me. And even if I don't know him, you feel me? I wanted that love. And that's what I'm doing right now. You feel me? So it's been a crazy journey. Of course, everybody got them dark times, but it's like, God is always present. So it's just like, it happens.
I think that's key and crucial that you were able to see that it was something bigger than football and be able to walk, and have your peace with it now. You feel
Exactly.
me?
I didn't have no injuries. No, like I can't, like, it's people who get out of there, back problems, got to do therapy the rest of their life. Like, I'm blessed. That's what, like, that's where all that comes from. It's like, bro, like, I left the game, with hella resources. I was in there networking like crazy. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I really like want to just for my shirt company just to go up and through, I can easily do that. But it's like I want to keep it low key right now. You feel me? I want to, very limited stuff. You know what I mean? Like maybe like 200 or 100 shirts, and it's gonna grow from there because I already mentally, been meditating on, like I told you before I got on. I'm already meditating, just about my intentions on what I want to do. And even with, I didn't tell you this yet. Damn, I forgot to tell you. So with my clothing company and stuff, my brand, when I get started, a small percentage of my shirt sales will go out to like we have a place in my hometown in Tulsa called Defending Dignity, and I'm going to give a small percentage my shirts and stuff to them, and they're just pretty much like human trafficking and women who's been like exposed to like sexual exploitation and stuff like that. So I love women, and not even in a sexual way, but they, I feel like they are the real creators. You feel me? Like, especially when I just see my son born, I'm like, damn, like it's for real. You feel me? And like, I don't want to see no women out here getting done dirty, like at all. Like I just that almost is the same amount of hurt when you see like a black person just get shot for no reason. Like it just kind of like, these women, like, come on, man. Like people out here trying to hurt these women, and they got kids, a lot of them. Like I just that don't sit right with me. And when something don't sit right with me, I'm gonna look at myself and see what can I do better. And then I end up talking to the owner of the owner of that nonprofit. Had coffee with her and her husband, and I told him my vision. I said, hey, man, we want you to come up and record with us next Thursday because they got a little fundraiser donation thing, virtual online. I think maybe this upcoming Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And I went up there and just told them, like, hey, I have my moms, as a single mom growing up. I have my grandma, my aunts, all taking care of me, my brothers. Like I love women. You feel me? And I don't like nobody seeing, done dirty. And I think, right now, it's almost worse right now that nobody really paying attention to it. Even like stuff with the kids, like, the stuff that's going on with the kids and human trafficking and stuff, like kids being, abducted and stuff like that. It's like we have the social media that everybody know what's going on. So nobody has an excuse on why they don't know something. Think about that. Everybody know what's going on. And it's like we're choosing to focus on the coronavirus, you feel me, other than, black kids being missing and stuff like that. It's like, bro, that don't sit right with me at all. And I'm hands on then. So that's
Hey,
it.
it's good to actually be about it. A lot of us talk about the problems, like you said, we see it, we might like it, we might retweet it, but that's where a lot of times it stops right there. Because we don't then see what can you do. And we have that mindset a lot of times. I've been guilty of it. It's like, yo, I don't know a lot of people. I don't have the biggest platform, but it's something that you do on some capacity to help fix or make this world a better place. Like you said, you proud of just being able to help the in 8th, 9th grade.
Exactly.
And the key thing you said that I felt the key thing was you said you was able to love on her.
Yeah, man.
That's the bigger impact. That's the thing I think that is so important and crucial. Like, is taking the time out to do that, even if it's one kid. You don't know the impact of that one child, of that
Exactly.
one female that you help out. As you said, protect our queens. White has protect our queens. They're all queens, some capacity, whether they know it or not.
Exactly.
So, hey, I think that's something good that you're doing because you're about that actual act.
And let me you know, add on to this. And this can be a whole podcast of itself. This conversation is that men who were born into, you know, poverty strict situations, or even, you know, who grew up like that. And you could be black, white, it don't matter. It's like, as us as men, I feel like we need to take a look at ourselves, not even in a bad way, but just in a mental, you know, mental health way. Like, I feel like we don't, like, even with my homeboys, like, you know, some of them like, hey, bro, you know, you straight. Yo, your mom always good, knowing that you going through something, bro. Like, don't do that. Like, if you going through something, you need to say something. Like, and you know, we all go through trauma. Like, man, that's what even I learned about in my job. Like, there's different types of trauma that a person go through. Like, you can have trauma by just getting in a car wreck. You feel me? Of course. And you can have trauma about, you know, being exposed to something, or, you know, your family, you know, that did something. Like, there's different types of trauma, and ain't nobody, you gonna have to deal with that sooner or later. So the sooner you lock into your spiritual side and like your mental, the sooner like the sooner you'll be better. But like, a lot of people just try to brush it off and like put that to the side. Like, that's gonna come around and haunt you in a little bit, and it's gonna come out at the worst time. So it's like, we need to take control of our mental health, and really we need to change the way how we eat and how we speak to each other. You feel me? And even what we listen to sometimes, you know, everybody had that time you want to listen to some thug shit, you know. But really, me, I'm more of a you know, J. Cole, you know, Kendrick Lamar and Kid Cudi, you know, type of dude. But it's like, you know, I ain't gonna try to be no hypocrite or nothing. Of course, I listen to everything, but it's just like, like, you gotta be conscious of what you feed in your mind. Because once you start hearing all that other stuff, that's why a lot of people dying right now. Like, because everybody think it's cool to just start shooting people and doing, like, come on, man. It's not. It is not time for that. It's really never been time for that, and it's not time for that right now. So it's like, that's why I was telling my brother, you know, my oldest brother, you know, started getting into music after he got out of prison. You know, I was, you know, like, hands on. I was like, all right, let's get it. You feel me? Because I want to be here to support him. And you know, he started talking about some real shit. I'm like, all right, you know, but he go back to his thug shit. I'm like, man, you just might as well stay on that real shit, like, just period. But now it's, you know, it's a blessing to, you know, see a lot of people start growing from this year and start recognizing, you know, well, you know, even some of the childhood traumas that they, you know, went through. And you know, I definitely feel like a lot of people are, you know, starting to wake up for real.
All right, so seeing what you've seen and knowing what you know, what would you tell your younger self to help you get ready for the journey that life is?
Ugh. I don't think I would tell myself anything though, because then I feel like, you know, all my accomplishments would be different. Like, I feel like I would have, because I feel like everybody go through what they go through at the right time. Like, you feel me? I feel like, you know, without it, like, if I'm blocking all the tests and all the tribulations that I went through, then I won't have my testimony. Yeah.
True.
So what is it? I've heard Big Sean said something like that. It was like, he said something on his new album that had like that. It's somehow like, if you somebody with a test, if you don't have that test, then you don't have your testimony. So it's like, it's always good to, you know, fantasize about, oh, what if I would have did that different? But it would just like, it would just be at like just for fun, because for real, I'm like, I feel like I made the right choices in my situation and what the knowledge that I had at the time, for real.
That's definitely an interesting perspective. I think that kind of goes along the lines of the people that, you know, that ask you if you had any regrets,
Mm-hmm.
change. And a lot of people, have regrets and be like, I'll change this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
You change. It's kind of like when you look at the movies where you go back in time travel. If you mess with this one thing, that could
It's
affect
on everything.
Everything. Something you mentioned before. The key of feeding your mental, your spiritual, and your physical is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And shameless plug real quick. The person that was able to connect this whole interview right here,
Mm-hmm.
who is a chef in the toast area. So those who are watching this, his IG is It's Torts. Check it out. I'm gonna post it on here real quick. So y'all could go if y'all in that area. Trust and believe. That's some good food you want to get for
Facts.
sure.
I've been missing out every time, bro. I need to go ahead and grab it. I've been out of work because I work from 3 to 11. So, by the time I get off, it's probably about 11:30. And boy, he be like, bro, I'm out of play. But like, he definitely we already talked about he gonna give me a play and all that. So I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, I'm a little tight. He moved out to Tulsa, man. I'm missing
Come
out.
on, man. Yes, bro.
Do you miss the sport at all? I know, like you said, you're focused on everything else that God has put inside of you, but do you miss it at all? Like the camaraderie of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely, I miss, being in the team, being in the locker room. You feel me? And it was just like it'd be little stuff like I think I probably like, especially being in the league and being on the Browns. It's like at practice was always live. And I mean, low key for any NFL team, like it's the practice are always live. Like they be probably like maybe probably I really want to say probably like 500 or plus people watching practice and just be cheering and stuff. Of course, like if you mad fans of an NFL team, you gonna go to their practice and stuff. And like the practices will always lit. We playing music, we getting lit. I remember one time I was at practice with the Browns and we was just I think we were doing now we was doing team. We were doing team and we had the twos up and we all just in there jigging, just chilling, listening to music. And I turned over and look over for a second. Someone told me to look over. I'm looking at Odell, but he over there just killing, just like yeah. And this was like, bruh, it was just stuff like that. It was like that's just the icing on the cake, bruh. And just to even watch people like him and Jarvis just really just work on their craft and see them coming to work every day. It was definitely a blessing to get to talk to them dudes and chop it up with those dudes because I got a chance to really hang out with them and really just on some one-on-one stuff, and it was definitely much needed for sure.
Last thing I think we'll probably ask before we transition to our last segment, which is called With the
Mm-hmm.
Quickness. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
5 questions. You got to answer whatever comes to your mind first. But
Mm-hmm.
being a new father, how has that changed or how has your perspective been since being now a father on life?
Mm-hmm. Man, I think my son made me like I feel like I learn something every day when I'm with him. Like you feel me when I be chilling with him, like because he only 2 months, so it's just like the way he be looking around, he be observing everything. Like he don't know nothing. You feel me? But it's like it's so pure. Like everything he had, like he really only get frustrated, either when he hungry or what I mean, he bloated, and he got a burp. You feel me? So it's just like when he just be looking around at everything, and what I mean. Like even I got some, crystals that I like to have keep in my place, for cleanse the body and all that stuff. Like he just be looking at it. I'm like, dang, I wish I, know what he be thinking. But man, he transformed me, bro. Like it's like, as a father, just crazy because like I never knew that like a kid can really just of course my life changed, but like mentally, like I'm thinking about not what stuff can I get him or me. I'm thinking about what can I leave him. You feel me? What assets? What what I mean? What businesses? Like what land? Like that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm on. I don't really care too much about I mean, because I shop everywhere now. Like I might shop at Urban Outfitters once a couple times, and I might got a pair of ones. But for the most part, I'm at thrift stores, just that type of style. So it's like I'm never really too uh I guess I'm never too materialistic. I just kind of put my focus on him and think, dang, like, what is something that, I can leave him, or, he can watch me build up so that, when he get, my age or even younger, that he already know he got the tools to be his own man.
Now, this, God willing, this is not something that you're going to have to think about anytime soon. But the last one, how you answer just made me think about this, though. When it's all said and done, what would you want to be said about Mik'Quan Deane?
Probably just, I really just want people just, to remember the memories and the times, because I feel like, with me and, everybody that, I've come in contact with, I feel like we all had like a, at the same time we were going through something, and we both, prevailed from that situation. We both learned from that. So it's just like, I think I think I want people to remember me just, from the love that I show, and, the respect that I give people just all back. And then, how I'm always, willing to, go out and, do the most for somebody. Cause at the end of the day, bro, we need each other. You feel me? So like, I was, this was a blessing. It was a blessing just for me as it is for you, for me to be on here. You feel me? So like, for me to talk and, and share this stuff, and to hope, that, somebody catch it and, it helps them throughout their day. That's all I really wanted, was just to be a light for people. You feel me? And for my, the stuff that I went through, to be a travel guide or something like that, to help out somebody else that's in a similar situation.
So thinking towards the future, have you thought of like next steps? Would you ever go into like coaching or, broadcasting? I see Brandon Marshall, he has his own podcast, which is
Right.
dope. It's dope. Would you ever do stuff like that in the future?
I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm never opposed to doing anything. That's another big thing about me, is that I'm never opposed to doing anything. So like, when an idea is brought to my head, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see, that perspective. I can see where that come from. But yeah, I think that would definitely be a cool thing to do. And I thought about it a little bit. I thought about doing a YouTube channel too. So, just kind of wherever life takes me, or, whatever that next, thought come from. I think, if one day I just feel like doing it, I'll do it, and I'll definitely let y'all know. But I definitely can see myself doing that for sure.
For sure. I already told you, this is your home court podcast. So you going to get your own podcast, YouTube channel. You going to anything. Just know you can make an announcement here.
Right.
This is your home now. We appreciate you definitely taking your time out to be on this. It's very appreciated, and I think in this section, stuff that people could take from it and learn and apply it to their lives, like if they want to. You know me? Like,
right, exactly. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's all about them. Like, ain't nobody gonna open the door for you. Like, you gotta go bust it open yourself. Like, if you don't have a way, make a way. Like, come on, man. Like, it's time for that. Like, I feel like that for the most part, I feel like that's why a lot of people are not successful, because we really scared of like that energy we have behind us and that power we have. Like, we all know deep down that we got something that we can really change the world with. But it's like that scares us a little bit, so we a little bit more timid thinking about it. But man, just go ahead, bro. Just get spiritually active. I think the things that I do daily is just, I don't have any expectations for anything. I'm not competing with anybody but myself. Like, that's the thing with social media. Like, once you start realizing that you don't need to be competing with people that's acting like they got it, and if they do get it, good for you. You feel me? Like, I'd rather go through the struggle first, and then, you feel me, feel it, then rather than boom, I got the success, and then, oh, now here come the challenges and stuff. Nah, I'd rather get mine at the end. Go ahead and send me a plate. And it's Thanksgiving coming up.
yeah. With the quickness segment, so we're gonna throw some questions at you.
Let's get it.
Your mind. Somebody I feel that's tapped in to what's going on through social media, through life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Culture to you in one sentence. What is culture?
Like as in nowadays, or we talking about like what my definition of culture is?
What is your definition of culture in one sentence?
Culture is something that could be trending, or yeah, I'll say that's something that can be trending because people can make something a culture. Like, what example? Dang, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think what I think. Yeah, culture is just for me is that probably something that's it's been done a certain way for a little bit, or it can be something that's been trending for a while. That's what I mean, that ended up being its own thing, which is probably could be a culture.
I checked out your Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned like Giveon album, which I know
Yep.
I've had that on.
Come on, man. That's my guy, bro. Hey, he pushed me in the fields, bro. I'll be like, damn, bro. Yeah, bro.
Rap.
You said R&B or rap?
Yeah. What's your?
Come on, bro. It depends on the day, but that R&B hit different though. When you need it, when you feel you like, ooh, this killing you. Yeah, when you got the right song, I think that R&B take over because the notes be hitting too. And that's just and R&B is something you can feel me. You can play when you're chilling. You can play it in the shower. I don't really listen to rap in the shower. Like I ain't about to be saying no thug shit in the shower. You feel me? I'm trying to sing. Trying to get them vocals, up. So I'll probably say R&B.
I'm the same way. Me and Miles the same way. Like we about to go to an open gym tonight. Me and Miles, our playlist, we go rock out to some Mary J. Blige while we
Come on, bro. I was just about to say that, bro. That's all my mom used to be playing. Come on, man. She
They
used to
like,
be playing
I
all that.
some killer stuff, bro. I'm like, nah.
Wow. Come
The
on,
real
man.
I can switch up to some smooth jazz and still get
Exactly. Still out there getting buckets. Come on, bro.
3 artists in your current rotation.
J. Cole, Giveon, and probably some old Kanye.
I ain't mad with that selection right there. 3 books you would suggest.
Ooh, yes, yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna say, the 4 agreements. And it kind of just, there's, 4 different, elements of life that, one should, carry on. I think the biggest one for me that I like was don't take nothing personal. And that one kind of just talks about like, how whatever people say to you, it's not really like if I'm mad about something, but I take it out on you, it's not a like whatever I say to you goes back to me. It's almost like a reflection in a mirror type thing. Like, and I think that's what kind of, someday helped me realize in life, like everything's not personal. Don't take nothing personal. Everybody's going through their own stuff. People might say, somebody might be mad and say something out of anger, and it happens, especially with females. You know how when they get mad, they all let go out the window. So it just even stuff like that. They help me in relationship. And the other ones are I got a book called Adam, Eve, and the Serpent, and it kind of helps me put everything in a certain point of view for like what the Garden of Eden for my book, and it kind of So I think what would the other one be? I read so many books, bro. Oh my gosh. Dang. I think the biggest one was just probably just the 4 agreements. I think you should start off there. Just start off right there. And you know what I mean? Because even with the intro, it gets you. So I think that would probably be if I had to put 5, I would say the 4 agreements. That's how bad I want people to read that.
Gotcha. All right. 2 more left before we get you out of here.
Okay.
We just mentioned Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Ideal Thanksgiving plate. What's on your plate?
Man, I'm gonna come up. Hey, so stuffing, bro. First off, I need stuffing on there. Period. You go ahead. You can put the cranberry. You can put the cranberry gel or whatever you call it. Them cranberries on there. Gotta have the sweetness. I think I must need rolls, bro. I gotta have rolls on there. You feel me? Of course, I need the turkey.
Deep,
And you said what?
deep fried?
Huh?
Deep fried turkey?
So, Bill, my dad fried a couple times. I like doing the oven, but I got an extra recipe that I be doing myself. I might have to put you on game. So,
Why?
yeah. So what I do is, I get a turkey, you know, dress it up, do it, take all the stuff out, do all that stuff. But I think the biggest thing that I do is it's like a turkey oven bag that you can put around it. But before you do that, you mix butter and olive oil on it. So I think the seasoning that I put on it was garlic and herbs, or roasted garlic and herbs. Put it all around it everywhere, because with herbs that it can never be too much. So you put that all around it, and then you cover the top with the butter and olive oil, and then you put the bag over it and put it in the oven. For however many hours, bro. And I'm telling you, you go crazy, man. So that's a little one-on-one. You feel me? I be watching the cooking channel and stuff. So shout out to them.
Might have to try that one. Now I like deep fried. That don't be fried, but the way you said it,
but it be moist, bro. I know people don't like the word moist, but hey, it's for sure moist.
Last one before we get you out of here. 5 people, dead or alive, that you got at your Thanksgiving table.
What we talking about? We gotta get. Hold on, bro. We gotta. If we do a straight celebrity, or like what we, you feel me? What's the
Whatever your criteria, it could be. You could have Malcolm X at your table and J Lo, and like however you want your 5 people.
That's crazy. J Lo and Malcolm X.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's a interesting. But I think that's what I'm saying. All right, so of course my family and friends, but I think the 5 people will probably be Bob Marley, John Lennon, and I say John Lennon because I feel like he was on life. His perspective on life was a lot of different growing up. Like I remember at a young age, he was just saying that how he perceived life different, like how his mom, always, dove deep into him and, what I mean, try to give him those principles of life. So I think John Lennon. So I would definitely say, I gotta say Tupac, just because that's an intelligent brother, and he's seen a lot. And what I mean, even when I just be watching his interviews, that stuff like that just made me think, today. So what I say, so I said John Lennon, Tupac, and who was the first one I said? I said
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Okay, and then I'm gonna do Kevin Gates, and then I'm gonna do, who are the last one gonna be?
You gotta put a queen at the table.
Okay. Man, who could I? It's so many of them. I feel like Whitney Houston, like, besides the stuff that, her and, I feel like this, besides the stuff that she did, I feel like, of course her voice was amazing, but like, I feel like she knew a lot. And like, even when I did some research on it, it was like, her, fundamentals on life and how she went about life was different from the average people. So I definitely probably say Whitney Houston for sure.
Hey, I'll pull up at that table.
Come on, bro. Got to.
I like that. I like that list. We had you here for almost like an hour. A whole lot of good, whole lot of things.
Let's go.
I personally, again, we thank you for taking time out of your schedule to hop on with us. This isn't a part of the rapid fire. This is just the last thing, and we'll get you out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Being on the show now, who do you think? Who would you want to see on our show?
Man, I feel like I would want somebody. That's a good question, because I feel like we do talk about sports, but it's more about life and how to go about the mentality of it. And I really think even my JUCO homeboy, Darwin Thompson, I feel like he would be a great person to get on. He plays for the Chiefs right now, and I feel like even my homeboy Deion Yoda, they both play on the Chiefs. You know, they built different. You feel me? And like the way how they go about life, you feel me, is just totally different. And they both smart. And I got my homeboy, you know, my homeboy Iggy, you feel me, that play for the Bears. Um, he's a smart, intelligent brother too. You know, I think he actually, I want to say, didn't he got a doctorate or something? Like he real smart, bro. Like we went to college together, so he's real in tune and all that stuff with the medical side and all that stuff. So he knows a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, those are some people that I'm gonna definitely try to, you know, hook y'all on to, because they real people, you know, they real genuine people, and you know, their mentality is real hardcore. You know, that's what I'm about. So we gonna need to try to get them on there for sure.
Hey, if you're able to get anybody, any of your friends, if they in the same mindset as you, I think it'll be a great asset for the
Yeah.
show. But again, we thank you for your time. We thank you
Hey,
for
thank
everything.
y'all. Yes, sir.
Pray for continued blessings throughout your year, throughout your life. We'll stay in
Same
contact.
for you. Same for y'all.
We'll stay in contact, of course, but continue having a blessed day, man. Peace.
Hey, you too. All right. See y'all.
Brother.
All right, bro.